week we had the Mayweather-McGregor fight. And as the whole boxing world and the entire world expected, except Ireland,
Yeah.
Mayweather won.
Ireland was upset. That's for damn
And
sure.
I'd say UFC fans. I mean, I've seen a lot of backlash from UFC fans.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I do want to touch on that, too. We'll get to that.
We'll get there,
We'll get there.
I'm
Yeah.
a little...
So yeah, you guys saw the results. We've done our scorecards as well. We're gonna lay out the scorecards first, and then just go into it. So my scorecards, as I put in,
First 2 rounds you have to give to McGregor,
yeah,
right?
first two rounds.
Those are undisputable, I would say.
First 2 rounds, I put first 3 rounds for McGregor,
He
Yeah.
threw, like,
and then
10
the
punches,
rest
too.
of it I gave it to Mayweather.
Yeah,
A lot of people speculated 8 was given to.
Yeah, so I think
McGregor.
both of you guys were 1, 2, 3 Mayweather.
Yeah.
I had 1, 2... Or, sorry, 1, 2, 3 McGregor.
McGregor, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah, McGregor.
I had 1, 2 McGregor, but then upon, rewatching it, then I realized I probably should have given 3 to McGregor, too.
Yeah.
And then 8 is another, you discussed about that. You guys said... I think all of us had 8 for McGregor.
Yeah.
After rewatching that, though...
Yeah, you might give it to
I think
Mayweather.
I would give that to Mayweather. So I
Yeah.
would say, regardless, in my eyes, McGregor won only 3 rounds.
Yeah. Okay. So you have 1, 2, 3 McGregor.
Upon review, yes.
And then
upon review.
you
I
have
had-
1, 2, 3, and 8
No, I have 1, 2, 3 as McGregor.
as McGregor.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was watching the fight live, and even after rewatching the fight, I had rounds 1, 2, 3 McGregor and round 8 to McGregor. Round 8 was really interesting to me, just because I feel like for the first minute and a half, first minute, McGregor was much busier. He had a really nice body shot 30 seconds in, that left hand, he snuck it to the body.
Yeah.
He had this double jab where he went body head after that. He was doing some good things. Obviously there was no power behind any of the shots because as I've been saying for weeks, my brother and I were talking about this, right? When we're talking about power, right? There's a big difference between knockout power and knockdown power.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Because in the UFC, all you really need to do is knock someone down, because then you can jump on them
And pin
and
them.
then decide you
Yeah.
pin them. You can choke hold, whatever. You can just beat them up like it's a gang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hammer fists. To,
But
you know what I'm saying?
But the round 8 punches that I saw was not even a
the
knock.
round 10 punches, or all rounds.
They were.
Even that...
They weren't...
What about those 8-ounce gloves, McGregor? I thought those 8-ounce gloves were gonna knock the heads off the canvas. You know what I'm saying? What happened to your power, dude? You got knocked out by Mayweather, the guy with brittle hands. What happened? Seriously, you're supposed to be this big puncher, but throughout the entire fight, I didn't see one punch. Everyone's talking about that uppercut he had. And what?
Everyone was
Nothing.
shocked by that because you don't see Mayweather get hit by it. But
Yeah.
he didn't shake.
Yeah, he didn't shake at all. We've seen Mayweather get hit harder by Andre Berto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His last fight, we saw him get hit harder by Maidana in 2 fights, by Shane Mosley, who rocked him. There's a difference in just how you throw punches in the UFC versus boxing. And this is not me hating the UFC. The UFC, if this was in a cage fight, it wouldn't go around. Shout out to McGregor for lasting 10 rounds.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean,
even that.
Most people had
Okay.
him out in 4 or 5 rounds.
Well, I think that's also because of hyperbole. I don't think it's worth congratulating someone for going 10 rounds when the first 3 rounds Mayweather throws a
6
total
punches?
of 15 punches or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Mayweather was toying with him.
Yeah.
Even when he had the opportunity to cut off McGregor, he
Yeah.
had him trapped anytime, not anytime, but
He was,
for the-
I don't know, man.
Mayweather was just having fun. He's smiling.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
doing a little herky jerky.
he's also
and
40
the
years
little
old, though.
skipping.
He's 41.
Yeah.
41 years old. So
Yeah.
maybe age had a little bit of a factor to it. He
Oh no,
wanted to
he
take-
looked like a shell of himself. Mayweather looked horrible. I'm sorry, dude. He would lose to the 7th best welterweight right now.
Who?
I could say that pretty confidently. He did not look good. Looked good, damn good enough to make $350 million though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
seriously.
Hold on, I'm gonna take a sip of water and then I'm gonna scream again. But no, look, McGregor, much respect to him. Guy's a monster. He made me a fan that night. the way he conducted himself after the fight, he made me a fan.
That's
The
true.
respect.
I respect that guy.
It wasn't just the respect; it was like how he wanted to improve himself.
Yeah.
And, like his analysis wasn't completely off.
No,
like
no.
it was. I think he's giving himself a little more credit with, it's just the stamina.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the body shots is what slowed him down the
Yeah,
most.
he was eating them to the body a
Yeah.
lot.
This was the Instagram post he posted, right? That you guys are talking about?
I'm talking about like the right after he just.
Right after,
He gave
okay.
a bunch of interviews.
Yeah, I saw a whole bunch of interviews. You know how after every
Yeah,
fight, I don't
yeah.
talk to anyone. I'm on YouTube and just like watching all the like ES News, whatever, Boxing Ego post all of their videos, and I'm just watching the post-fight interviews that he did. Much respect to him, but I hope this is it's a learning experience for boxing fans and for UFC fans. There's a difference between the two disciplines, and your best guy, who's supposed to be your hardest hitter, maybe not your hardest hitter, but a hard hitter, standing up. He's supposed to be, one of the top guys who can crack. Dude, his punches looked. It looked like Paulie Malignaggi, man.
Whoa.
The way he was arm throwing his punches. He didn't sit down on any of them. How do you expect to knock a man out without sitting down on your punches a little bit?
Yeah.
He walked in probably 25 pounds heavier than Mayweather did. Mayweather was eating like Burger King the day before the fight. He went to his strip club Girl Collection, where we were invited. It's a true story. We were in Vegas during fight week, and we got free passes to Girl Collection, which is pretty dope. Anyway, McGregor was not sitting down on his punches at all. And Mayweather, he didn't spar for a month before the fight because he didn't want to mess up his hands anymore. He was going to the strip club every night that week, documented. There's pictures of him every night of fight week, even the night before. He's eating Burger King the day before. Are you going to really tell me that McGregor was in this fight that heavy? And just the disrespect from UFC fans. I know we're going to get into my rant later, but I'm in it right now.
Just go
Just
for
the
it.
disrespect of, like... I don't know if UFC fans are, like... They don't want to admit that it wasn't as close as they want it to be, but, like, is there not tactics in the UFC? I know that's bullshit, because I watched John Jones versus Cormier. Of course, John Jones was on PEDs that fight. But I watched that fight, and in the post-fight interview, he was talking about the tactics. He was like, I know Cormier dips down to the left side, so we were just waiting for that. So I hit him with like this a kick to the head. Ended Cormier that night, and John Jones versus Cormier the second time they fought. So obviously UFC fans understand tactics. But why don't they understand tactics in the boxing ring then? Let's go back to 1974. Muhammad Ali... the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Africa, right? In Africa, right? In Zaire,
yeah.
right? It's an outdoor fight. It's humid. You're gonna tire out early, right?
Yeah. No, that's true.
So, excuse me, sorry guys, I'm a little sick, so I have like a lot of phlegm that gets built up in my throat and stuff,
shit,
you
do
know?
need to-
You want a
you got-
tissue?
Yeah, I might need one, right? Excuse me, right? He's fighting Joe Frazier. Right? Joe Frazier's a big hitter who's going to come out and he's going to throw his load, right? What does Muhammad Ali do? He rope-a-dopes him. Gets on the ropes, stands there, takes the punches, lets him tire himself out, right? We all know the story. We all know about rope-a-dope that happened that night. It was iconic, right?
God, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Like, we understand that, right? But we don't understand that when Mayweather does it, right?
Yeah.
He throws 6 punches in the first round. What do you mean dominated him? Dude, it's the first fucking round of a 12 round fight.
If you look at most of his previous fights,
He's a slow starter.
He's a slow starter.
He's a slow starter, yeah. Not to say that he
And
loses.
this is not by. It's not that he doesn't have the skill to be like to knock you out.
Yeah.
As early as
He's
the first
computing you.
time. Yeah,
He's
he's doing it
it's
by
strategy.
choice.
Yeah,
it's choice. It's not by.
He's
design.
learning you.
Or sorry, it is by design.
It is by
but,
design, yeah. He's learning you. He's in there. He's seeing how you move around, how you react to the little feints and everything. Which Mayweather wasn't feinting at all that night either.
Yeah.
Like he was just throwing his punches. Like there was barely any
dodging movement
or like fake punches.
Yeah.
You know,
Before I always used to say you can't question Mayweather's preparation for fights.
yeah.
But for this one, it seemed like he was he knew it was a spectacle and not a fight.
Yeah.
And I think it showed in the boxing ring because he wasn't throwing feints. He wasn't just
he wasn't cutting
jabs,
cutting the ring off.
Like there was so many times where he could have cut the ring off and just ended it in like round 8.
Yeah,
and it was like, what are you doing?
He was just following him around, you know. But this even McGregor understands this, right? Because post fight, McGregor was like, dude, the guy changed his looks on me 3 times, you know. Like, he expected Mayweather to, like, be on his back foot and, like, do what Mayweather has done on the second half, you know, the back 9 of his career.
Yeah.
You know, be more defensive, right? And that's what McGregor was training for. And Mayweather just puts his hands up, a high guard, and walks at him the entire fight from round 3 onwards, you know? So, McGregor understood, this guy, like, he just changed his looks up on me to something that I wasn't prepared for. He found it, and he just took the fight from then on, you know?
Aren't power punchers supposed to be good inside fighters too?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I feel like power punchers are not great inside fighters. Based on what I've seen, they're great uppercuts, but not.
Well, uppercuts are typically on the inside.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
throw
I mean that's
uppercuts
what I'm
on the
saying.
outside too much.
That's what I'm saying. The only power punches I see from the inside are uppercuts. I don't see most.
Isn't that
Inside fighting is the hardest thing to learn in boxing. I would imagine for most combat sports, just because your head position is like right next to the other guys, and just all the small angles you have to learn to generate power on that is the hardest thing to learn. Which is why I was actually really surprised that there wasn't a lot of holding this fight on Mayweather's end, you know, or on McGregor's end.
I thought McGregor should have done it more.
McGregor should have held him more.
Yeah.
Dude, McGregor, he's quick, man. He was able to take Mayweather's back. Like, his foot speed is really impressive. Like, if that was a UFC fight, you know, and he would have been pinned. He got to somebody's back like that. That's such a powerful position. It's not over, obviously, but you know, you get someone's back like that at ease that many times, like, you're gonna do some serious damage. McGregor's a monster. McGregor is a monster for sure. He can't punch. You know what I mean? Like,
can't punch in boxing.
Or at least, I don't know if he was just, you know, I do believe the whole stamina thing a little bit, not to the extent that, I think he's giving himself too much credit. I do agree with Hirsch on that. But, look, I mean, it's just so annoying that all of these, you know, casual ass fans, right, who watch it are like, oh, McGregor was dominating early, he just got tired. It's called the sweet science. You know, there's strategy to this. You know, you got to learn the guy. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's 36 minutes. I'll give you the first 6. Let me have the next 30. You know what I'm saying?
It's like what you guys said, right? The first round, he got an uppercut in.
Was that the first round or the second round?
I think second round.
I think it was the second round.
Second round.
I think it was the second round when he got that uppercut in.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second round, he got an uppercut in.
Nice jabs.
Most boxers who get an uppercut in stun the opponent.
Yeah, you at least...
You see the head knockback.
Yeah,
you see the head knockback.
Floyd just went in.
Move.
Yeah.
He went into it.
And not to say that it wasn't a good uppercut. He timed it really well.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's shocking to see someone connect with Floyd squarely.
Yeah, that's square
just,
like
that. Like,
that.
he squared him up, and he still didn't knock the guy at all.
Yeah. Or at least, like, make him take a step back, you know?
Yeah.
It speaks of that power.
He got hit by it, and then he just came back forward,
It speaks of that power, pretty much.
Well, no, it doesn't.
It
It doesn't, because you don't load up on every punch.
Okay.
You don't load up on every punch.
Yeah.
You don't see fighters throw the same speed of punches every time.
Mm-hmm.
You want to change up the look. You want to change up the speed. You want to set things up. Maybe he's just trying to score with that. So just because he hit him one shot cleanly and that wasn't the stunning punch doesn't mean he doesn't have power. When you look at the whole 10 rounds, though, and the lack of him setting up for any of his punches or sitting in on any of his punches shows you that, A, he's afraid to throw because he doesn't want to get hit.
Okay.
And B, if he was loading up on some of those 1-2s that he was going in on, and if that's the extent of his power, boxing's not for him at that level right now. I think he could box. I honestly do.
He started off as a boxer.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people who start out in any combat sports typically start off in boxing. It's the most famous one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you might be in a club that also has like BJJ or, other disciplines, karate, whatever the other disciplines may be, Muay Thai, and maybe you get introduced to those after. But I think a lot of people start out boxing, so you see a lot of UFC guys who are like, oh, I actually started out as a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should have continued with it because that's where the money is, right? All these UFC fans again saying boxing is dead. Then why did it take your guy to have to come to our sport to make $100 million if we're dying?
Okay, I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Do you put any stock into the 111? I think it was 111 punches McGregor landed, which is like significantly more than anyone else against Mayweather.
I mean, sure, he hit him with 111 pity pats. To call them punches, I don't know. Like if that does that word
Most
justice.
of them were jabs.
Yeah. Okay. And he had a good jab. He had a good jab. I'm not taking anything.
But that's also because he had. This is the first fight in 5 fights that Mayweather had fought someone with a longer reach than him. So I don't know. That's what I
Who was the last
put
fight?
it down to.
Do you guys know?
No, I can't.
5 fights ago.
I think the number was 5 fights.
Andre Berto, Manny Pacquiao. He had 2 Maidana fights. I feel like Maidana should have a longer reach than him. Was it Canelo? No, I don't know if Canelo had a longer reach. Either way, the whole 111 punches, and obviously our fans can't see me with the air quotations I'm doing here. No, yeah, I think he may have connected with 111 punches. I'm fine with that. But does that really prove anything when you look at how Floyd Mayweather fought that night? That wasn't how Floyd is best. That was Floyd walking forward with his hands up, fighting, as McGregor says, like a Mexican, right? With no like real regard for defense, He was coming forward with just a high guard with his hands and just trying to knock the guy out. You know what I mean? So of course, when you're doing that, you're going to take more punches.
Oscar De La Hoya.
That was 5 fights ago?
That wasn't 5 fights ago.
Okay, so I got the number wrong.
Might be the number wrong. Yeah. De La Hoya. That was at 154.
Mayweather's is 72 inches. De La Hoya was 73. Conor McGregor's was 74.
74.
Yeah.
Dude, no, yeah. Like McGregor, he had the size, he had the reach,
the youth.
He had the height, he had the youth.
Yeah.
So, and of course, this guy's supposed to be a big hitter. I don't see it, man. Like I don't see it. I'm not bashing Conor at all. I'm just trying to say that for fans who may not understand what they're watching, or who may follow the media and get really hyped up about that might be the first boxing fight. Those weren't punches. All those, I don't know. Maybe they were counting all those hammer fists.
That's something else we have to consider.
With those 111 punches.
Because if they didn't tell the scorecards to knock off a point, they probably had to count those punches.
Yeah. Especially if it's CompuBox, CompuBox can always be a controversial topic.
Okay.
But I guess going back to our original topic, sorry, I had to rant about that.
That's okay.
I actually had a second question regarding that.
Sorry, I forgot.
Do you think it's more so McGregor fans than UFC fans? I know they overlap, but McGregor has a very
opinionated.
Yeah, a very opinionated following.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of disrespect, which I don't understand why there has to be any disrespect between the two sports. Like, everyone knows if Mayweather went into a octagon, same story. You know what I mean? Like everyone.
But just roles reversed.
Yeah, it just roles reversed. But let's not forget that it's McGregor is the one who got the boxing license. He's the one who was calling out Floyd Mayweather, trying to make the money fight happen. So there really doesn't have to be any sympathy from boxing fans' perspective, or from boxing fans to UFC fans, because we weren't the ones trying to incite anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people online and who were like, why don't they just do the same fight but allow leg kicks? No, we weren't the ones trying to come over, and come to your sport. We love UFC, as well. I watch UFC fights. I just watch Jones versus Cormier 2.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Cormier's from San Jose, so I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm down to watch that fight. So I don't understand why there has to be so much hate between the two, but I think it might be more McGregor fans, to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
But I think UFC fans in general have just a
lack of respect.
A lack of respect for boxing because they think because you only have
Fists.
you get your fist that there's less tactics involved or less skill involved. No, you're just maximizing that particular skill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if that was your best stand-up fighter in there, it didn't look good, man. Like, could you imagine him in there with Keith Thurman, with Canelo? Oh, no, Keith Thurman's a 147-pounder.
Yeah.
Let's put him up against a 154-pounder.
Canelo.
Versus Canelo. You think Canelo, with one of those left hooks to the body,
God.
you know, wouldn't just crack him and just have him bent over?
Triple G.
Triple G. Triple G would come down to 154, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Jermall Charlo. You think these guys wouldn't just annihilate him within... Andre Ward used to be a 168-pounder. I'm sure he can make... Or he used to be a 160-pounder, excuse me. You think Andre Ward wouldn't end him in 90 seconds? 90 seconds is what I would give him against Andre Ward. Fuck, put Terrence Crawford in there. He's a 140-pounder. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to this. And what's kind of sad about the fact that it was Mayweather and an old washed up Mayweather is that I think McGregor fans, UFC fans are like, okay, we can hang with the top of them. I'm sorry, son, you cannot. You know what I'm? You know what?
That's true.
Like
It's a false.
If this was Mayweather fighting Shane Mosley, that Mayweather in there versus McGregor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course that's
Even
why
if it was
McGregor.
Mayweather from like the Pacquiao fight, which
Even
was
from
like
the Pacquiao
2 years
fight.
ago.
2015, yeah.
2015, yeah.
It was in 2015.
That would be a completely different story too.
I think May 5th, 2015, I believe. Didn't look May 12th, May 5th.
It was a May date.
It was
I
a May
remember
date,
that.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Cinco de Mayo. It was going for a Cinco de Mayo date.
Mhm.
Because that's when you get a lot more boxing buys. Anyway, going back to the scorecards. With all of that, all of my spewing, which makes it seem like... Was it May 3rd?
May 2nd.
May 2nd, yeah. Even with all that, me seeming like... It was probably a Cinco de Mayo weekend. But with me seeming like I hate McGregor, I gave him 4 rounds. I gave him 1, 2, 3, and 8. I gave Mayweather 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And obviously he was winning 10. I don't think 9 was a 2-round victory that one of the scorecards had. It's the judges, the official judges. Meaning that even though there was no knockdown, because Mayweather did so well, they gave him a 10-8 round.
Yeah.
That round so I don't think it was that bad. It was a bad round. It was a bad round, right? But I don't think it was that bad of a.
I don't think I've seen a 10-8 without a knockdown.
Without a knockdown before.
But I'm also new to the sport.
I can't think of an example. Yeah. I think I've seen a couple, but it's a good candidate for one, but I don't think it was a 10-8 round. Okay, another controversial topic for that fight. Did they fight or stop the fight early? Was it an early stoppage on the refs' half? What do you think, Ankit?
Well, that round itself, Mayweather was going at him. He was going at him, and you could see the shaky legs.
Little wobbly
You could
Irishman.
see the shaky legs.
Yeah.
So, personally, I kind of wanted to go on. I just wanted to see him flat.
You wanted to see him go. You wanted to see him flat, right?
I wanted to see him flat.
But do you think it was a bad stoppage? Not what you wanted. Not what you.
I think it was a good stoppage in terms of safety.
Safety.
In terms of safety, but I kind of wanted to go.
Initially,
go down.
I thought it was a bad stoppage. Now I'm kind of like warming up to the idea. I do agree with McGregor saying like at least let him knock me down.
Yeah.
There's
a counter to this argument that he makes, though. Let me get into that real quick. If you want the fight to continue, you have to show the referee something.
Mm-hmm. You have to punch.
And
you have to punch back. You need to initiate a clinch. You need to do something. You need to not just be backing off and just getting assaulted.
Yeah, that round you saw.
He looked like he got jumped. And he wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? And he had nowhere to run, so he kept going in circles. You know what I'm saying? That's what that looked like to me. I believe it was. There's a video about this. I believe it was about like a minute maybe like 57 seconds of McGregor not throwing a single punch.
Oh crap!
Something
That's
like
almost an entire round. That's
That
2/3
is,
of
yeah.
a round.
That-
no,
Which is
1/3, 1 minute.
1 minute 57 seconds.
No, about a minute.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
About
Okay,
a minute.
okay.
It was like about a minute,
Yeah.
which is still a third of the round.
Yeah, that's too
Yeah.
much.
And then there were, I think it was like 9 or 10 straight bombs
Yeah, I remember
by
that.
Mayweather.
Because we had the bet, right?
Yeah,
We were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. So we all had a bet on which round McGregor would go down, you know? But it was like 9 or 10 just straight bombs. Mayweather was skipping across the ring at one point. As you see the footage, he was chasing him. He was skipping like he's a little third grade
He's
girl.
like, yeah, he's running like he's got this big smile on his
Yeah,
like,
yeah, he's
little
like-
hop on his step, and he's like, I know what I'm gonna do to you now.
It was like Raditz beating up on Piccolo and Goku, and you know what I'm saying? Just having a good old time, you know? Was it Raditz? It was Raditz, right?
Yeah, the first fight, right?
First
of the
fight.
series.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dragon Ball.
Shout out to Dragon Ball Z fans. Dragon Ball Super has been amazing. Anyway, you have to show the referee something.
Yeah.
And McGregor wasn't showing him anything, and it was his first professional fight.
Yeah.
So
It
you
was
have
with 8-ounce gloves, which of course is more to protect the hands of the fighter than it actually is to protect, the fighter's head himself and everything. But I at the time of watching it, I too felt
Yeah.
they should have let that go on. But after watching the stop, I watched the stoppage like 30 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really
1 minute
enjoyed
is
it.
way too long to not.
To
not
not
throw a
hit, yeah.
punch.
And he's not even really defending himself either.
Yeah, he was wobbly,
He was-
man.
yeah.
He was.
Even at the end of round 9, if you see like him trying to just get to his corner,
Yeah.
he
He
was
was-
walking
yeah.
straight.
He was. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was messed up.
Yeah. I understand both perspectives. I really do. I think it could have continued, but I'm happy with the stoppage. It wasn't going to. He wasn't going to show us anything.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm actually surprised McGregor didn't try to just hold him to try to stall for some time.
stall for time.
Yeah.
Do something. Hold him. Be dirty if
Yeah.
you can. Elbow his head. When you're holding him in a clinch. Something. But when you're getting hit like that, you're
Yeah, no, you have
You
to
really
stop
can't
that.
control.
Yeah.
what you're thinking is I gotta get away from this guy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have the training, I suppose, to come in and initiate a clinch.
That comes with
I think
experience.
that comes with experience.
That comes
No,
with
even in
experience.
his head, he may have known, but he was just so physically out of it that he couldn't.
Yeah.
Because the guy barely stood up. How is he gonna just try to get inside and hug a guy?
Yeah.
Like-
And he even said in this Instagram post that Mayweather was really strong in the clinch, right?
Okay.
So maybe he just knew if I'm trying to clinch with this guy, and he was getting beat up inside the whole fight. Maybe he was thinking if I get inside, he's gonna uppercut me, get me to the body. When you're tired, you really don't want to get hit to the body.
Yeah.
I remember I was screaming like, "Go to the body, go to the
Yeah.
body!" During the fight because Mayweather was a headhunter during the knockout. In the
Yeah,
9th
yeah,
round
he
and
was,
the 10th
he was.
round, he
He
was
was
a
going for
headhunter. And I was just like, dude, one of those going down to the body, it's
It'll
over.
hurt.
It's over.
Mayweather just wanted to have fun.
Yeah. He was having a good time, man.
Hey, he said I put on a show for you.
Dude,
This time.
he did.
Yeah.
Mayweather was a winner. Like, the way we remember Mayweather now will be vastly different, in my opinion,
Yeah.
than how
That's
we
true.
would have remembered him. Because we would have been like, oh yeah, he was a boring fighter. Against Pacquiao, it was boring.
And it's not even true because if you follow his career, he's not a boring fighter. dude.
Watch him fight Arturo Gotti. That was the saddest night of boxing. Like, you'll cry for Gotti that night. It was just an assault. It was. I don't know. I want to do another DBZ shout out, but I won't do that. It was an assault that night. I don't have an issue with the stoppage. I think we've already talked about this. McGregor, he was so respectful.
He was.
Yeah.
He even said, like, I don't lose fights. If I don't win them, I learn. I think he's going to be just a monster in the UFC after this, the experience he's had.
You
I look forward to it, man.
You think he goes back to UFC or will
Oh,
he
yeah.
go for
No,
a boxer?
There's talks about him and Molinagi.
Yeah,
There's talks about him and Molinagi in Ireland.
Ireland?
Which I think might be why Conor does it. Because then he'll get a big fight back in
His
his
hometown.
home country.
Yeah.
It'll be in Dublin, of course. Molinagi and him have such a history.
Yeah.
I would buy that fight.
I'm more
me too.
interested in that fight than I am in
Me too.
Mayweather-McGregor.
Me too.
Because both of them don't have power, right? Those McGregor did Malignaggi dirty in those videos and stuff, but he got cracked, man. He got cracked in those videos, like the sweat flying off and everything. We saw that. Malignaggi had that little luck over his eye. Of course, Malignaggi was a fat, retired Malignaggi. If you give him a full camp, it might be a different story. Who knows? I would be interested in that fight.
Just by saying, who do you think would win?
I think McGregor might win, man. I think McGregor might win. He's
Hirsch?
I think if we run into Malignaggi at One Oak,
Yeah.
then we could give him some pointers and he'll have a chance. And
Yeah.
he'll probably be a favorite then.
Yeah.
If he doesn't,
If he doesn't reach out to SportsKop, because we have yet to miss a prediction. We have another one coming for you tonight. No, we have, as a team, SportsKop has not yet missed a prediction. We have another one coming for you later in another video, so be on the lookout for that. But I think McGregor's going back to the UFC. I think he has some really good options. If he doesn't retire, he could retire on $100 million, obviously. And I wouldn't have anything bad to say about him. He's 29 years old. He's made over $150 million.
He can retire easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
His family would be happy.
you could look out for your health.
At this point. But the thing I respect about McGregor, I don't think it's about the money for him. I really don't.
Yeah, I think he wants to be. I don't know what's the word.
He wants to be Bruce
like
Lee.
an ambassador kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee. Yeah.
He wants to be the next transcendent fighter.
Yeah,
Fuck any UFC, fuck boxing. He might go into just wrestling, just Muay Thai next. Who knows? And I'm gonna be watching.
That'd be interesting.
I'm gonna be watching, man.
Yeah.
McGregor, you made a fan out of me, my friend. You better give Nate Diaz that trilogy. He deserves that trilogy. And after that, you better give Jose Aldo that second fight, because we didn't get to see it because it was over in 15 seconds. That was a fight that never really got started. Not to take anything away from you. You flattened that boy. You had it real clean. You called it. You Mystic Mac. I'm a fan of you. But you better give those two their rematches. Even if you don't give Jose Aldo his rematch, you better give Nate Diaz that trilogy.
That trilogy is
that is deserved. Shout out to Nate Diaz from the 209. Shout out to Stockton. But yeah, that's Mayweather-McGregor, man. It was a fun night of boxing. Before we end this, everyone wins, right?
Oh yeah, boxing and UFC.
I think the boxing.
I think the audience
wins.
won too.
The audience won. McGregor won. Mayweather won. The
300
UFC,
million.
Yeah. UFC. The UFC won, right? Oh,
Yeah.
See, the only reason I can say the UFC may not have won as much is just because of how much more money McGregor made, and hopefully they get to be like, yo, if they're making that money in boxing,
UFC
Dana White better fucking pay them more.
Yeah.
In the UFC.
Yeah. No, agreed.
That's another topic. We'll have Calvin one day. Hit that up, talking about how dirty the UFC is. Boxing is
I wouldn't
dirty
even
as
say
well.
UFC. I'd say more so Dana White specifically.
Yeah, Dana White's what a filthy man. Anyway, that was the fight. It was a great fight, man. I look forward to see what McGregor does next.
It was a fun night.
It was a fun night.
It was.
It was a fun night.
So I think that wraps up all our thoughts, right?
That wraps it up for me.
Thanks
Thanks for
listening
joining us.
in.
Yep.
Hope to see you or hear from you again.
Yeah. Hear from you. Let us know what you guys thought, man. Like,
comment, please.
Yeah,
and
let
subscribe.
let us know what you guys thought. I just want to see all you dumbass fans who are angry at me now. Like, start roasting me in the comments. I want to see all of that, man. So let us have
I'm
it.
gonna comment now.
Yeah.
That guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. See you next time.